Northwest Arkansas nightlife venues are taking extra steps now to make sure your nights out are a lot safer. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman tells us what the Safe Bar Network is and who it's all involving.
It's a program that teaches staff how to identify and handle unsafe situations, including harassment or overconsumption, while keeping the atmosphere fun.
3 popular bars in Northwest Arkansas have completed bystander intervention training, one of them being Butterscotch Bar and Bakery in Bentonville.
More people that have a good time during their night out, the more my staff is going to have a good time.
Samuel Gibson is the general manager, and he tells me that the bar had to go through 60-minute training sessions learning about prevention.
What we see in the industry and the issues we have with things like testing boundaries or harassment or times that we've felt uncomfortable, and we come together as a group after that and we talk about those moments.
The training is free for venues, and the goal is to learn how to spot bad behaviors and taking action before it could escalate.
What can I do to make sure that I'm better serving the people that come in here? Guests can expect to come in and have a comfortable place to have a few drinks and feel like they're not going to be ever put into any situations that we're not able to help them out with.
At the end of the day, Gibson says it's about going the extra mile for customers.
We have been helping a couple of guests get some Ubers home recently.
Gibson hopes the Safe Bar Network is used at all bars in the future.
I think that it is incredibly important to have these tools in your back pocket. I think it's more than just having a safe night out. It's also making sure that your employees are safe and comfortable too.
Sidecar Cocktail Lounge in Fayetteville sent us a statement saying Sidecar Cocktail Lounge is joining the Safe Bar Network to ensure a safer, more welcoming environment for all guests. Our team is committed to recognizing and addressing uncomfortable situations to raise the standard of hospitality. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
All right, Laura, thanks. We showed you this video tonight at 6, a car fire near the Bobby Hopper Tunnel on I-49. RDOT says the car fire and a separate incident were causing traffic issues going both ways on the highway there near the tunnel. Still don't know whether anybody was hurt or what caused the fire, but we'll keep you updated on our website, 5newsonline.com. Former reality TV star Josh Duggar continuing his push now to overturn his 2021 child pornography conviction. Federal judge in Fayetteville has set a new hearing for a motion to overturn that conviction. Last month, Duggar filed paperwork to represent himself in this case going forward. Right now, he is serving a 12.5-year prison term after previous appeals to higher courts were denied. The next hearing, by the way, scheduled for March. Meanwhile, the nation getting ready for a week of very busy travel ahead of Thanksgiving Thursday. TSA says it expects to screen close to 18 million people in the next week. Some tips for the people flying this week. First, know your itinerary and possible trouble spots, especially for those flying out of X&A on connecting flights to bigger hubs. You've got to understand connections and the challenges they could present, such as air traffic controller delays or winter weather. Experts also say understanding where your plane is coming from is just as important.
Okay, my plane before it gets to me in, sunny Miami, it's going to go through 4 or 5 cities that are getting hit by a snowstorm today. And I'm going to have to probably plan ahead a bit more or just be aware that there's a potential of more delays.
AAA expects about 82 million people in total to be going at least 50 miles from home for this holiday. Peak airport traffic days expected for Saturday through Monday, with Sunday expected to be the busiest. On the roads, AAA says peak holiday traffic will start to set in tomorrow and, of course, on Wednesday. It has been 40 years since a Fort Smith teenager was found murdered, and today police are no closer to an arrest. Tonight, in a 5 News original, a look back on the case of 14-year-old Leslie Dawn Haig. It was November 1st, 1985. Leslie Dawn Haig begged her mother to let her go for a short walk near her home. That was the last time she was seen alive. 10 years ago, we spoke with her father, Fred Haig.
They cheated me out of so much, it's pitiful. Didn't get to see her graduate, didn't see her married, no grandkids, no nothing. 14 years old.
Fred Haig has since died, but Leslie's brother-in-law, Patrick Feit, says he's doing all he can to keep her memory alive.
She was
kind, sweet, lovable, naive, young. Just a great girl. She was just everything. She was very pure and innocent.
Leslie's body was found here at Bailey Hill Reservoir in South Fort Smith. She had been strangled to death, the killer using shoelaces from her own shoes. There was also an unopened six-pack of beer next to her body. Things have obviously changed here over the years at Bailey Hill. What hasn't changed is the effort by police to find her killers. Everything Fort Smith police developed with this case over the years is stored at the department along with other cold case files. The case has had several detectives assigned to it and is still an active investigation. Chris Boyd Sr. and J.C. Ryder were detectives in the Major Crimes Unit of the police department. They were assigned the case in the late 80s as the first major case for that unit.
In 1985, we didn't have the forensic capability we have today. The capabilities we have today are just phenomenal compared to the 80s. You know, about the best thing you could hope for in the 80s was fingerprints or eyewitnesses. That's about the best you could hope for. So I think the original investigators were hampered in that respect.
It was just a sad story, as these type cases always are. And it had been cold for, like I say, 3 to 4 years at that time. We took and re-examined every aspect of the case.
Even today, both still get together now and then and talk about this case.
Sometimes just talking about cases that you worked, that you no longer are a member of the police department, but you still have friends there. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen with a case.
We try and go over everything that we could have missed, did miss. We try and recover everything that we did. What the heck did we do wrong?
In the meantime, Fite says he believes DNA testing is now the answer.
We've got to do some DNA testing. We got to do some state-of-the-art. There's way too many cases being solved at this point in America for hers not to get some attention to try to be solved. I mean, that just doesn't pass common sense to me.
Now, as Leslie's family searches for answers 40 years later, so do these detectives, retired but still invested in this case.
There's nothing I'd like more than to see these cases solved like this. Chris and I and the rest of the Major Crimes Unit devoted, just hours and hours and hours of our own time, and in addition to working for the police department, to trying to solve cases like this.
I just want accountability for the person did it, whether the person's alive, whether the person's deceased. I just want accountability for that to come up, and if that person's alive, I want justice.
Now, since this is still an active case, if you have any information about this, please call Fort Smith Police or Crime Stoppers at 78 Crime.